Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Good to be with you again today. And we will be continuing with yesterday's Murli. Yesterday, Baba reminded us that we are beautiful stars. And in the Sakar Murli also, for us it is today, but for you, maybe yesterday, Baba reminded us that we are the true stars, living stars on this planet Earth. Those stars are only physical stars. They cannot be called as deities. You are the real stars. You are the true stars. You are the stars who are going to bring about the transformation in the world. So Baba reminded us who we truly are. So we will continue with this Murli where Baba is talking about the self-respect, the difference between the self-respect and arrogance. That means the difference between soul consciousness and body consciousness. That's the foundation of Rajyoga Meditation, that we have to stay soul conscious. As we all know that body consciousness is the path of sorrow and suffering, and soul consciousness is the path of happiness. So Baba wants all of us to be happy. That's why Baba keeps emphasizing on the first lesson that you are a soul. So we have to stay seated on this self-respect that I am a soul. Soul who is like a star. So let's stabilize ourselves in this awareness once again, just like yesterday, that I am a living star, sparkling star, seated at the center of my forehead, connected with the Supreme Star, the Sun of Knowledge, ready to receive his elevated directions. Because Baba comes to teach the souls. Baba does not come to teach the bodies. So it's important for us to stabilize ourselves in soul consciousness. So let's sit with this powerful awareness that I am a soul, a star. So now let me share with you the Murli. So yesterday we ended here. Baba said there is no arrogance in spirituality. So arrogance and spirituality both are, just like Baba says, when there is the kingdom of Rama, Ravan cannot exist. Vices cannot exist in the kingdom of Rama. So similarly, where there is a spirituality, there are no vices. There is no arrogance. So Baba says, instead of arrogance, there is self-respect. So self-respect and arrogance. Two extremes. Self-respect means respect for oneself, the soul. There is a difference between self-respect and arrogance. Therefore, constantly remain seated on your seat of self-respect. Leave your seat of arrogance. So we have been sitting on this seat of arrogance for so long. So Baba says now is the time for you to leave that seat. seat of body consciousness, seat of arrogance, seat of ego, and sit on this beautiful seat of self-respect. Then Baba says, any seat of arrogance looks very beautifully decorated. It looks very comfortable and appealing. So it looks very comfortable and appealing. Just like Baba says, Maya pulls us because it looks attractive. So people are pulled towards it. But it is actually not going to give us anything. It's deceiving, always deceives us. So it looks very comfortable and appealing, but it is really, when you go and sit, Baba says it is really a seat of thorns. It's going to hurt. This seat of arrogance is just like the saying, repent for what you eat and repent for what you don't eat. You look at one another and think that you too should taste it. It looks very attractive. So you feel that I should also taste it. You think so and so has experienced this, so why shouldn't I do the same? So even though you are pricked by its thorns, when you sit on it, you can't let go of it. Therefore, never try to sit on the externally beautiful seat of arrogance that can deceive you. So Baba says, don't get trapped. It's looking like that, very attractive, very beautiful, very tempting, but it's going to deceive you. You will be trapped. Then Baba says, when you are seated on your seat of self-respect, you will experience yourselves to be constantly happy. Baba always underlines this word constant. Always, all the time. Not sometimes, but constant. So all the time we will be happy when we are seated on this seat of self-respect. Always elevated and an embodiment of all attainments. So we will be constantly happy, we will be constantly elevated, and an embodiment of all attainments. So we will not lack anything. We will be full when we are seated on this seat of self-respect. On the other hand, if we are sitting on the seat of arrogance, then there is that feeling of emptiness inside. So this is such a contrast. One side there is fullness, other side there is emptiness. So by keeping your speciality of knowing the Father and celebrating a meeting with Him in your awareness, you will remain constantly cheerful. So yesterday Baba reminded us that we all are special stars. Baba has given us unique specialities. But one speciality that is common in all of us is that we have recognized Baba. We know God as He is. And at this time, we all are celebrating a meeting with Him. So when we celebrate this meeting, then we are so happy. So Baba says, by keeping your speciality of knowing the Father and celebrating a meeting with Him in your awareness, you will remain constantly cheerful. So this is also a checking point. If we are not constantly cheerful, what does that mean? That we are not with Baba. We are with Maya. If we are with Baba, then we will always be cheerful. So this is a very important checking point for us. We have to keep Baba with us all the time so that we are constantly cheerful. So Baba says you were told that the moon was happy to see the stars. Brahma Baba was so happy to see all the children, the uniqueness of every child. So therefore, you stars have to follow the Father. Just like Brahma Baba, we also have to be like him. Whatever efforts Brahma Baba did, you know, we have to follow him, because we all are going to become an angel just like Brahma Baba, right? We all are going to become angels, so we have to follow the footsteps of Father Brahma. Acha, to those who are constantly stable on their seat of self-respect, to those who constantly consider themselves to be special souls and use their speciality to make other souls special, to those who constantly follow the moon and sun of knowledge, to such faithful, obedient, and worthy children, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. So Baba gave love and remembrance to us, and we also say, the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Then Bap Dada is meeting different groups. So Baba is asking, does each of you know your elevated fortune? Does each of you know your elevated fortune? You are making your fortune elevated by performing elevated actions. How we make our fortune elevated? Baba is telling us the method. When we perform elevated actions, we elevate our fortune. And then how we perform elevated actions? Baba is telling us that to the extent that your actions are elevated, so your line of fortune is accordingly long and clear. The more elevated actions we perform, the more fortune we create. And what is the basis of our elevated actions? We can perform elevated actions only when our consciousness is elevated. Our consciousness has to be in that state of soul consciousness. Only then can we perform elevated actions. So Baba says, what do palm readers look at when they try to read your fortune from your hands? They look at your line of fortune to see whether it is long or whether there are breaks in it every now and then. So those who do this reading, they look at those lines and then that's what they notice. So Baba is saying it is the same here. If you constantly perform elevated actions, then your line of fortune would be very long, clear and elevated for all time too. That's what Baba says, that when I come, I give you the pen. I give you the pen to create your own fortune. You can write your own destiny. It's up to us how long a line we want to create. It's up to us. Depends upon our actions. Baba says, if you constantly perform elevated actions, then your line of fortune would be very long, clear, and elevated for all time too. If you sometimes perform elevated actions, but at other times you perform ordinary actions, then your line would have a break here and there. It would not be permanent. You would sometimes come to a halt and at other times move forward. So there will be break. There will not be consistency. And if there is no consistency, then there is no progress. So Baba wants all of us to be consistent in making efforts. If we keep falling down and then We get up, then fall down and get up, then we lose so much energy. So then we will not be able to reach the destination early. We have to wait. Baba does not want us to wait. Baba wants all of us to make intense efforts so that we can reach the destination with ease, and not face any kind of punishment. So Baba says, you would sometimes come to a halt and at other times move forward. Therefore, be those who always perform elevated actions. Let me be the one who always perform elevated actions. The Father has shown you the way to make your fortune elevated. And what is the method? Elevated actions. Our actions create our fortune. It is so easy to make your fortune. Baba is telling us it is so easy. It's up to you. Perform elevated actions and thus attain the fortune of being multi million times fortunate. And the basis of performing elevated actions is, what is the basis? Is to have an elevated awareness. That is smriti. Our smriti has to be elevated. The smriti, for example, Baba gives us so many titles. So we have to be aware that this is who I am. Like, I am a living star on this planet Earth. So if I remember this, then my actions will also be like that. I will continue to sparkle. I will continue to radiate light. I will be filled with lightness. In my actions also, that quality of lightness will be visible. So Baba says to remain aware of the most elevated Father means to perform elevated actions. So this awareness is the most elevated awareness, Baba is saying. Not only just who am I, but also remember who the Supreme is, who God is. So to remain aware of the most elevated Father means to perform elevated actions. Are you fortunate to this extent? Baba is asking. All of you are fortunate, but your number is based on whether you are elevated or ordinary. It's up to us. Therefore, has each of you drawn your line of fortune for all time, or have you only drawn a short line? Your line is long, is it not? It is permanent, is it not? It doesn't break every now and then, but continues all the time. You are so fortunate. You are fortunate now and also in your many future births. Right? So we are multi million times fortunate. Such intoxication. So that was about being fortunate. Then now the second point. Do all of you move along in this drama while considering yourselves to be souls who are loving and cooperative with the Father? How we are moving along in this drama? We have to check that. We have to be loving, we have to be cooperative. Baba says, we souls have received such elevated fortune. Do you always remember this occupation of yours? Just as someone who works with a soul who is a professional and considered to be elevated, so your part and your task is with the Father Himself. So we are working with Baba. Baba is our partner. See, so we are so fortunate. God Himself has become our partner. So Baba says, So your part is so elevated. So we are working with Baba to bring about the transformation in the world. So we are so lucky. We are lucky stars. We are the most fortunate ones that Baba has given us this opportunity to work with him. So Baba says, are you aware of this? Earlier, you simply used to call out to have a glimpse for a few seconds. On the path of devotion, we used to call God, come and give us just one glimpse. We are looking for you. We want just one glimpse. You had that desire, did you not? You could not even wish for or think about having a right to this. You considered this to be impossible. However, now what was impossible has become possible, right? Now, see, we have been wanting just one glimpse of God, and now here we are every day. We are sitting in front of God and learning from him. Baba is God himself is teaching us. We have become his students. So this is so intoxicating. We never even imagined, we never even dreamt that God will be teaching us. We are going to study directly from God. So impossible has become possible and has happened practically. So do you have this awareness? Do you have it all the time or only sometimes? If you have this awareness only sometimes, what would your attainment be? You would receive the kingdom only sometimes. See, very straightforward, Baba says. Awareness sometimes, so you will receive only sometimes. Attainment also sometimes. Awareness sometimes, attainment sometimes. So Baba says sometimes you will become a king and sometimes a subject. We don't want that, right? We want to be a king all the time. So Baba says those who are constantly cooperative are always kings. Underline point. Those who are constantly cooperative are always kings. So we need to check this. Am I constantly cooperative? What cooperation I am giving to the yajna? Whenever I am needed, am I able to provide that cooperation? So Baba says the right you have is imperishable and for all the time. For the duration of the time that the Father has guaranteed, for half a cycle, you can attain a kingdom for all time in that. However, if you are not a Rajyogi, you cannot have the kingdom. So before getting that kingdom, we have to become a Raja Yogi. That means, Baba always says, self-sovereignty leads to world sovereignty. First, we need to become Raja of our own self. Only then can we become Raja of the whole world. So, unless we are Raj Yogis, we won't have that kingdom. We cannot have the kingdom. So when you have the chance to take something for all time, why do you accept it for a short time? So Baba is saying that Baba is giving you this opportunity to rule the kingdom for half the cycle. So why are you not taking this golden chance? Don't be satisfied. Don't be contented that only this much is okay for me. No, this greed is good. Baba says this is a good greed that you should have. Greed for ruling the world for half the cycle. But for that, we have to maintain that consistency. We have to make constant effort so that we become Raja. Raja of our own self, Raja of our own minds, Raja of our own senses, and then Raja of the entire world we are going to become. Acha, I think this ends the Murli. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. So we can take a moment just to recap and reflect. Om Shanti. Yes. Anyone wants to share? Can share.
So Baba showed us the way to make our fortune so elevated, and it is in our hand. How big, we want to make that fortune, and so the thing is, we'll have to perform elevated actions. So when we perform elevated action, our fortune becomes, multi times. We become multi million times fortunate. And Baba also highlighted on that it has to be, it should not be short time, it has to be long time. So we have to, there should not be any break in between. So the more we give cooperation and support, right, that much time we will be able to have our, that much time we'll be able to continue it. Right, the fortune will also be accordingly big. Yeah, that's the takeaway for me. Thank you.
Om Shanti system. I I liked when Baba, when yesterday, we just ended to say that when Baba says we are the decoration of the constellation in the galaxy, and when Baba says you are not weak, but you're strong. Why? When Baba gives us the title of Sarva Shaktiwan. And today, that one sentence, there is no arrogance in spirituality. Such a statement it is. There is no arrogance in spirituality. And what is there is only self-respect. And when Baba says we have to discard your seat of arrogance, arrogant seat, it may look very royal, it will look decorated, it will look very comfortable. But it's like, as Baba said, you will repent for what you have eaten and you'll repent for also what you don't eat. I like that one thing that Baba say, don't sit on the seat of arrogance, but on the seat of self-respect. That was one point. And how the equation elevated action is equal to elevated awareness is equal to smriti of the elevated father. You can take it any way we want. If we have a smriti of belonging to the most elevated father, so that elevated awareness will make our actions elevated and our fortune will become elevated. I think these two maxims is what I would like to really churn on from the Murli. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Yes, Om
Dhanyavad.
Shanti.
Today, Baba is very nicely putting in the thought, or rather say, injecting in us that constant happiness is always better than happiness which is breaking. And for that, Baba says, you should love self-respect rather than arrogance. And Baba says, for that, you have to simply be soul conscious. Simply be aware that what you are. And with that awareness, you will find yourself sitting on the seat of self-respect. And with that, the elevation and fortune will come automatically. And we have to move along with Father. Just follow the footsteps of Brahma, and we will find ourselves landing to a state of constant happiness. Baba says that when you are body conscious, you will find the things very difficult. Sometimes it may seem attractive, but rather at the later stage, you will start repenting. Baba foresees the future. Baba can see what that happens in future, what can happen. So Baba is also telling us that knowledge, that jnana, that reflects us, that make us understand that what is right and what is wrong. But we need not worry, we have to just follow the footsteps of Brahma and Srimad of Baba. And Baba says that when you sit on the seat of arrogance, when you are body conscious, you find the things impossible. But very magically, when you change your seat from body conscious to soul conscious, what happens? The things which you found impossible became possible. As the letter impossible itself tells, I am possible. While that word was coming in the Murli today, I was thinking how that impossible becomes I am possible. Or what is hidden in that? What I got, I write in three parts: I, and then am, and then possible. I means when we understand who am I am a soul. Then I understand whom I belong. I belong to Baba. And then who am I? I am the deity. And then how I became the deity. The another letter M tells about the Purusharth. M, man manabha madhyaji vibhava. Nashtomoha smriti labda. By knowing the identity, my identity, I am a soul, belong to Father, and with the Purusharth of man manava madhyaji nashtomoha smriti labda, the things became impossible. And in the first letter of possible, the P tells that purity is required, Purusharth is required. And then another letter O tells that we have to be obedient. Obedient to whom? S, that is Supreme Soul. Then how will we be obedient? A letter I tells introspection, inward journey, antarmukhi, antayatra. Bayamukhi se antarmukhi, inward journey. And B is by balihar and wafadar to Baba. And L is lawful and loveful. And E, we become embodiment of knowledge. And with that embodiment of knowledge, E, the elevation takes place. In this process of Purusharth of I am possible, we find ourselves elevated. Om Shanti.
Yeah, I remember as you were saying, Dadi Janki would always say, always be aware of three things. Who am I? Whom do I belong to? And why I am here for. So if we remember these three things, I am a soul and I belong to the Supreme Soul and I am here to serve. So if you remember these three things, then we are very safe. This is like a triangle of safety. We
Right.
have to stay inside this triangle to protect ourselves from the outside influences, the negativity. We just have to stay focused in who I am, and I am with Baba, and I have to do I only have to serve and serve and serve and nothing else. And we will always be safe, because then Maya will see that we are busy, then she will not come to us to attack us. So there's the triangle of protection, safety.
Awesome. So here, the everyone wants to perform elevated action. So the seed, or the seed of performing elevated action is, of course, elevated awareness. So we need to have elevated awareness, and then elevated awareness is remembering Baba. So when we remember Baba, that becomes elevated awareness. So the effort would be to stabilize one in that stage of constantly remembering Baba. So it becomes challenge only when we go out and then deal with people, or when we start doing our day-to-day work, right? When we have to interact with the outside world, right? So how do we maintain this awareness all the time, sister?
Yeah, Baba has told us many different yuktis that we can use to be aware that Baba is with me. We can remember any title of Baba from the Murli and be in that awareness. Today, Baba is my companion, or today, Baba is my boss. Whatever relationship you want to experience with Baba, just be in that relationship. Feel as if Baba is with you. That is one thing. And another thing is that whenever you're interacting with anyone, then always keep Baba in between. So let Baba's energy go to that soul. You are not directly interacting with that soul, but Baba is in between. So Baba's presence, it will be like a shield of protection for you. Then whatever you are speaking to that soul, it will not go through you, but it will filter through Baba. So only right things will reach out to that soul. So when Baba is in between, then you stay protected. So that is another method that you can use to interact with others. And also, when you are interacting with anyone, then you see the other person as a child of God, not as a junior or senior or your colleague, or because all these labels, they also influence the way we are interacting with others. So if we let go of these labels and see everyone as a child of God, as a soul, then our interaction will be very different as compared to all the labels. If we see someone as a colleague or whatever, then our focus is then on the actions that they do. Then we forget the being, and then we focus on the doing part of that person. And that's why all the problems, all the conflicts, they arise, because then we are focusing on the action of that person. But originally, we need to remember, we need to be aware that originally every person is a beautiful soul, a child of God. So, from that space, if we interact with anyone, then we will always be safe. So, that's why Baba is telling us about the importance of awareness. Awareness, awareness, and awareness. That's the key. We need to check, we need to keep checking our awareness. And then another thing that can be done is do traffic control every hour for 1 minute, so that we are continuously generating that pure energy, peaceful energy. So even if someone comes to us with a lot of anger, at that moment we have enough reservoir of energy, enough reservoir of positive energy that we can use to cool that person. Instead of becoming angry because of that other person's anger, we will send only positive energy, and not only we will serve ourselves, but also we serve the other person also. We will cool down the anger of that person as well. So we have to have enough stock of positivity, pure energy. And that's why consistency, Baba said, constant awareness. Who is with me? That's important. Did that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Om Shanti.
So the main effort here would be to, have that, maintain that awareness throughout. So for that, I think we'll have to make some sort of a yukti, like you said, traffic control is one of that. So, and also, remembering some of the words or some sentences that which Papa said in the Murli. So the artist will give us Papa's remembrance. So yeah, so again, the yukti here is to have to have that awareness, right? So yes, for that we'll have to make our own yukti. Each one of us, I think it works differently, right? So whenever when they are busy with work, that's something they'll have to see how it works. Traffic control is definitely one that would definitely help. So that will, when at least when it rings, right, then it will trigger us, even though we forget, then when traffic control rings, then that will definitely trigger that should remember Baba. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and another thing that can be done is, when Baba says that, like today's Murli, Baba said, I am your obedient servant. So if we maintain this awareness, throughout the day, the servant consciousness, that I am here to serve, I am here to serve. So with this awareness, if we start our day and if we interact with anyone, then we will not have any expectations from anyone, and we will be humble. Just like Baba is so humble, we will also be humble. Humility is the antidote of arrogance, So we have to cultivate this practice of being very humble. Even if we are not at fault, we can bow down and we can say sorry, and then we can interact with others. So if we bring these, virtues in our interaction with others, we will always be safe. I remember one of the dadis, Dadi all-rounder, mother of Dadi Gulzar, she used to say this phrase, Juk chuk marmar sik sik. Juk chuk, always bow down. Marmar, always you be the first in, if some mistake is happening, you by accident you did something wrong, or maybe even if you not done something wrong, you be the one to apologize. And then sik sik means always have this tendency that I want to learn. So that has to be there. So if you have all these three, then you will always be safe. So these,
Om
okay.
Shanti.
Yes, brother.
Om Shanti. Sister, you very nicely explained that when you are talking to anybody or when you're interacting to anybody, put Baba in between. It was really very nicely explained. What I understood from that when we are remembering Baba, basically we are remembering the qualities of Baba. Baba ke gunon ko yaad karte hain. And when we are remembering any gun, that factor of that gun comes in us. And when that factor of gun comes in us, our words get amalgamated with that factors of that divine quality. And in that process, what happens? जैसे कहते हैं ना कि जो अगर आम के साथ सेब रख दिया जाए तो सेब में भी आम का टेस्ट आ जाता है. Similarly, when we are talking to anybody in remembrance with Baba, keeping in Baba, that fragrance comes, and when that fragrance gets amalgamated, that bitterness gets off and it becomes very, very sweet. Just like sweet Baba, sweet children, and whatever comes out, sweet conversation. Om Shanti.
Yes. Very nice. Good, good. Okay. So, shall we end now?
Yes, sister, if there are no sharings, then we can do towards meditation and close the session.
Yes. Because I am at the center and there are many people here, so I have to meet with them also. So now let's sit in deep remembrance of one Baba with this elevated awareness that I, the soul, am multi-million times fortunate. Baba himself, God himself is with me. As I interact with the outside world, I am never alone, but I always keep Baba as my companion. I stay combined with Baba and I receive guidance at every step from Baba. And I am able to perform elevated actions. And I am able to earn spiritual income. I am so lucky, so fortunate to have Baba in my life. Thank you, Baba, for being with me, for guiding me, for empowering me. Thank you. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Kanishta sister. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 and till that time, have a wonderful day.